Hey there, thanks for joining me again. This is the lower bracket MLG Columbus 2011 round 10, and this is the battle for not being third. Whoever loses this series will end up third in MLG Columbus. The winner will go on to face MMA to try and claw their way back up to first place. They will have to defeat him in 2 rounds of best of 3. So whoever ends up back up there will have to battle uphill fairly significantly. If they lose the first series, they are out. So we have MC spawning in the top right hand corner as the blue Protoss here on Shakura's Plateau. And in the bottom left hand corner we have IMLosira spawning as the red Zerg. And we see Losira picking up, or extractor tricking there on the left hand side. And as I've mentioned before, him and Sen are the only 2 people who still do that. But they're awesome, so it must make sense somehow. And it looks like MC is going to Forge Fast Expand, which we saw him do versus Idra on this map, so that's no big surprise. Actually, any map that lets him Forge Fast Expand, he does. Tal'Darim, this one, and then he follows it up with like a Stargate to defend a Zerg all in and try and deny the third, so we'll have to see if that's what he'll be going. And Losira is starting up his spawning pool and extractor at 14. He's now going to re-drone up probably to 15, 16, maybe even up to 17 before the pool finishes. He spawns some Zerglings, chases out the probe, and then takes his expansion. But he is going to be fighting a bit of an uphill battle here, as MC will be able to take a 16 probably Nexus. We'll have to see. It looks like he's going to take a 17 Nexus, yeah. 18, wow. He likes those a little bit later Nexuses, actually. Here it is coming down for him. And taking a later Nexus actually allows you to be ready to, drop cannons here at the natural in case they picked it up. Additionally, it also lets you drop a gateway and then a cannon behind it a little bit earlier because your production is a little bit higher. And there's no real harm in waiting that long because the Zerg player is stuck on one base essentially until he has Zerglings out to chase off your probe and kill any pylon that your probe manages to drop. So that's why. And it looks like MC is scouting across, seeing if Losira picked up a third somewhere else maybe and dropping a pylon. But these Zerglings are onto his game. He says, I saw a probe go over here. I'm going to find it, and I'm going to kill it. The Zerglings are scouting up over here. He's putting up the Zerglings again, and this Zergling is about to scout and find this probe. Yeah, there it is. This probe's like, dang, the jig is up. He has to retreat. Full wall off here by oGsMC. His standard Forge, Gateway, Cybernetics core wall here on Shakura's Plateau. He will destroy the Cybernetics core when he has a time when he needs to move out. Maybe the Forge, depending. And this probe managed to live for quite a long time, get a little bit more scouting information. He sees that the drones are off the gas, so it is macroing here for Losira. And are we going to have another pylon drop down here? Stargate? No, he has no gas. What is this gas being spent on? Oh, he just picked up a sentry. That's what it was. At 25 probes right now, MC is in the lead. He's throwing another probe away. Seems like he's not sure what type of build Losira is doing, or maybe he's just trying to get a lot of accurate information to be really confident in his play. Oh, that probe almost got killed off by drones. But here the Zerglings finished the job. Creep extending down to the natural there. 2 cannons up on this wall. A sentry out to force field this area in case the Forge drops. Looks like he learned from that Idra game and has decided to put his cannons right behind the Forge, so that way he can force field and keep all the units right there. And there's the Stargate. Standard build order of MC here. And this is going to scoot across and try and kill off this third that will finish before he gets over there. And it looks like Losira might be sending some drones over. I'm not sure as a transfer or to start building some. Yeah, there we go. Spore colony being built. He knows there's going to be a Void Ray coming to pick that off. And the Void Ray actually being rallied to pick off this Overlord, which is interesting. Third and fourth gas is being picked up as that Overlord is scooted away. Actually not seeing those extra gases go down. So I'm not sure if he was meaning to hide that and that was his purpose behind it or what. Now this Void Ray will be able to do quite a bit of damage at this natural because he will be able to just maneuver behind the mineral line. If the queen ever comes out away from this spore crawler, it'll be able to be lifted up and picked off by this Void Ray. There are two queens at the natural, one at the main. A roach warren going down here for Losira. Working on picking off the spore crawler here. Luring the phoenixes back to the spore crawler that's already out on the ground. And MC's going to need to back up with this. Really not sure why I decided to go for the main. He could have done a lot more damage here at the expansion, but maybe he thought that the expansion would be the most defended with spore crawlers. Wow, that phoenix has 2 HP. That was so close to dead. MC up to 4 phoenixes now. Getting his map control along. Another phoenix coming up for him. 2 more gateways going down, a Twilight Council. And this Void Ray is literally just set on patrol between these two points and it's just going to kill off any Zergling that comes out to take these towers. And the last scouting Zergling has been wiped off the field. Macro Hatch going down at the second of Losira. Those are the macro hatches. He's at, am I reading that right? Is that 86 drones? Wow, that's a lot of drones. That's oversaturation for 3 base, kind of. And it looks like these Void Ray or these Phoenixes pick off a queen. There are 6 of them, so they can easily do that. Now they're trying to pick off some of the Overlords, but not able to do so. One of them getting its shields knocked all the way off. Some Zerglings back out on the field here. +1, no, +2. Researching there for MC. Looks like he's going to pick up a bunch of charge zeals here in a minute. Getting a robotics facility as well. And lots of charge zeals making their way across the map. They're warped in from this high ground on the low ground, and they will just charge across and eat up this base, maybe. Depends on how they do versus all these roaches. The roach is actually not kiting. Losira getting his roaches lifted up a little bit, but he is engaging near his spore crawler, so they're actually able to get shot at. A few roaches getting picked off and dying there. But all in all, very successful hold there by Losira. Meanwhile, still creeping his way across the map. Ooh. Ah, that creep tumor almost finished. Almost went invisible. It's really close there. Not quite. Hydra's out on the field to take care of these pesky flyers. In the meantime, Robotics Bay has finished, and a Colossus is being chrono boosted. Fourth being picked up for Losira, and MC is still on 2 base. He needs to take a 3rd here soon. But he cannot afford to push out currently with this large of an army out for IMLosira, and he's actually in quite a bit of trouble here. New cybernetics core going down in the back, which will be ready for the next round of weapons. MC's observer getting the information it's out there for. Great force fields going down out of MC there, blocking off the entire army. And now this Colossus is just going to deal damage, ripping through quite a few roaches there, equalizing the field pretty well there for MC. Still needs to be pretty defensive though, until he gets a few more Colossus up. And still out here harassing with his air force. Trying to actively move around the map and harass. MC trying to kill this last little bit of HP. Ooh, it's like 2 hits away from dying. And he's going to need to move. I think it'll finish in time. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it goes down. So close to picking that off. And now IMLosira is going to try and deny the expansion of MC. She might be able to do. Yep, he forces a cancel. But my assumption is, yeah, it's just going to be dropped back down immediately. Lots of banelings on the field for IMLosira here. And he is loading them up into overlords for overlord drops. Not sure if he's going to bomb the mineral lines or just use them mostly in his main army. I kind of like this better than the Corruptors, to be honest. I like the banelings more than the Corruptors. Unless you're going for broodlords. But if you're researching and hoping to go like Ultra Infestor Ling at the end of the game, I could see this being a lot more legitimate. Phoenix is skirting around the middle of the map, giving scouting information. Here comes the Overlord Air Force, and it is going to try to get some drop damage out on the field on all these stalkers, who are going to try to blink underneath it, but there are a lot of Zerglings under there. And the Phoenixes might be able to pick off some, but IMLosira is now bombing and forcing back the Protoss player's army, and he's going to take out a few Colossus here, it looks like. All the Colossus going down, 2 banelings. Oh, nope, 2 still standing tall. It's hard to see underneath those overlords. And 3 Colossus still out on the field, and they just rip right through Hydralis. It's ridiculous. Look how fast they melt. Plus 2 damage on those Colossus. One of them has 26 kills. Only 12 HP, but 26 kills. And IMLosira actually makes away with almost all of his overlords. He's still able to be max supply cap there. And it looks like he's going to go for it round 2 here in a minute. He has not yet picked up Hive and the speed upgrade for Zerglings, which I think would help him a little bit. Zerglings running by, going up into the main. Wonder what they're hunting for. The main Nexus, that's an interesting choice. Burrowing all those Zerglings, that's kind of weird. Guess he's hoping that MC will forget about them and he'll be able to unburrow them later. But in reality, they're just going to get shot by a giant Colossus. And here IMLosira is moving across the field again. Big force of Zerglings. Quite a few banelings loaded up again. Looks like 28 in those overlords. And there aren't that many Colossus out on the field. I only see the 1. I don't know where that injured one went. I guess it died off somehow, but force field's going down, trying to prevent Zerglings as much as possible, funneling them in. Banelings just erasing that Colossus, and the Zerglings just swarm over MC, and there is nothing he can do. He calls GG there. IMLosira taking out MC in game 1 of this MLG Columbus lower bracket, round 10. So 1 more game for IMLosira and he can move up and fight MMA again, or will MC pull it out and win 2 games in a row to move up to the championship bracket in the last game? Stay tuned. Follow me on youtube.com/Lokazi, or JustinTV/Lokazi, as well as check out my webpage, lokazi.blogspot.com. Has all of these replays here in convenient format, like the game 1 is right there. You press play. When it's over, pops up game 2, just straight through them. That goes for all my replays. I have a bunch of Grandmaster casts over there, and I hope to see you guys tuning in for the next game here in just a few minutes.